Nick Ballenilla double majored in marketing and finance. He currently works at Paramount. He shares how he managed to get 5 internships and a part-time job while he was at Rutgers. He talks about time management and following his passion as a sneakerhead, which brings him much satisfaction from his work.
Quick introduction of myself. My name is Nicholas Ballenilla. I went to Rutgers. I graduated Rutgers in 2019 with 2 degrees. I went to the business school on Livingston, graduated with a marketing degree and a finance degree, so double major there, something I'm really proud of and really grateful for. During my time at Rutgers, I stayed really, really busy. I think that that was really helpful for like what was to come afterwards. For example, during my time at Rutgers, I had 5 internships. Some people think that that's crazy. Even sometimes I would have like, oh, I remember one summer, I think like summer 2017, right? I had like 2 internships back to back. Like literally there, I'd have an internship in the morning and then an internship in the day, and then also navigating like a part-time job. So I was a little bit all over the place, and found myself really enjoying marketing and also like combining that with numbers. So I found myself what to come was my first job right out of college, which was working at corporate Foot Locker in New York City. From there, I was really trying to understand where I wanted to see my place in the world and trying to understand what was do something rather that was really important to me, and me being like I was a big sneakerhead in college as well, so it was really fun to be somewhere where I knew what some of the culture was, right? Since that, I found myself trying to just continue to go on. I have a really big passion for entertainment, but also with culture, and where I ultimately found myself in my position today, which is Paramount. I work with the cultural intelligence team at Paramount. I'm a senior analyst there. I've been there for about 2 years now, and I love it. My job is very, very interesting. It really allows me to just like see what's going on with the consumers and communicate that with some of our favorite brands, right? And then also like that doesn't go just about like what's hot and like what's going on with like TikTok or anything like that. Though those trends do have a lot of meaning. It's also talking about things like representation and different lights in that regard to make sure that everybody's recognized, you know? So ultimately it's been great so far and I'm really enjoying it.
Wow, you have a very, I feel like you were in being into being passionate about sneakerheads or just sneakers
Yeah.
and getting to work at Foot Locker. I mean, that was just like the perfect day.
Yeah, literally. It was like it was amazing. I thought that it was good because like not only was I getting a cool discount while working there, but also just like really understanding the sneaker industry and like how it works. Like it's not only just about like having some cool silhouettes and things on your feet, but more just like the business behind it of like what sneakers are moving and how the industry works overall. So it was a really great opportunity, and I'm grateful to have been there.
Wow. So you also said that you had 5 internships, part-time job,
Mhm.
and so there must have been some skills that you developed. Could you tell me
Yeah.
like some of those skills that you developed that are like bring in the most value?
Yes, time management, that is a big one. That is a really, really big one. I feel that like over the past, honestly, 5 years, nothing gets good overnight, right? But I feel like over time, I really was able to perfect the craft of like time management. I think that that's something that's very important, especially being in like a professional setting, right? Making sure that you're on time, and if you're on I like to say if you're on time, if you're early, you're on time, and then if you're on time, you're late. You know what I'm saying? So, it really just that's one big thing that comes to mind while going through everything. The other thing is just like communicating and talking and sharing ideas, right?
Right.
Oftentimes, like even coming out of college, I know a couple friends are like a little bit bashful when it comes to like sharing their ideas, or they think, oh, like some they might not they being like anybody that you're working with might think my ideas aren't that great or whatever. And like honestly, sometimes you just have to let loose and just be yourself and really like hone in on your thoughts. And nobody's ever right, and also nobody's like ever really wrong either. So those are some key skills that I feel like I've developed and continue to push through this day. And then of course there's so many more that I can think of, but I'll leave it at those two for now.
So time management and really being about letting go of what is right and what is wrong, Be
Sure.
working with the ideas and working with the team. I like that.
Yes, of course. Of course.
So that brings me to like my next question of how important is networking in your field of work?
Oh man. It's really, 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 really important. I feel that most times, most often than not, I find myself like communicating with people through LinkedIn than anything else. Networking and just really getting to know how individuals are working and what they're working on, and just like connecting is just like super important because that opens up so many doors for you, you know? And that comes from like within your own personal network and your professional network too. I've had a ton of like clients and vendors that I've networked via like social media, like also like LinkedIn, where I was able to bring them into the fold on some projects, you know, or even just like get to understand like what they're about. And then like you also never know where they wind up netting out too. Maybe they find themselves in a position that you're interested in, and you just continue to chat them up, and you never know where it leads you to. But it's very important, especially in the world of business, especially in the media and entertainment fields, to continue to network and talk amongst everyone and anyone that you can. Your net worth is your network, or your network is your net worth, however that goes. Shout out to David.
Shout out to David for so I really like what you said as to like your network is your net worth. I
Yes.
I like that. So it is, I see the importance where you've developed projects through your network. That's really
Yes,
cool.
definitely.
So that brings me to like, I mean, you did like work very hard to while you were at Rutgers. And so
Yes, I did. Some people thought I was crazy, but I wound up getting it done. I wound up getting
yeah,
everything done.
I mean it's worth it when I
Mhm.
look at it. So what would you say to a student who is struggling right now?
What would I say to a student that is struggling out there right now? I think that I would ultimately encourage them. I would encourage them to find their path, find something that really means something to them, and latch onto it, whatever that might be, whatever field that might be, and everything. And then make sure that you're connecting with the people that are like-minded or interested within that field. Because at that point, then you're just growing your own community and allowing you to set yourself up for success. And just don't be afraid to get out there, you know? You don't, not everybody makes all 100% of the shots that they take, you know? Getting involved and doing things that just making sure that you're within a community can really help you grow and help you get to where you want to get to.
Right. I like it. Build your community and the community will build you back.
Exactly.
That's that's pretty cool. And it'll lead you to success. And if you're doing something that's meaningful to you, then of course you'll be
Absolutely.
gravitated towards it. Wow.
Yeah,
I
you gotta love what you do at the end of the day. Like that's ultimately what it comes down to. Once you love what you do, everything just becomes seamless, you know? Everything is just like is really, really easy to come by, and it just does, and work won't feel like work anymore.
spot on. I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time. It really means a lot.
Of course. Thanks, Jamin. I really appreciate you for having me. Go Rutgers.
Go
Are
Ruck.
you rah
Are you
rah?
all right?